Artificial intelligence. The phrase itself feels futuristic, like something out of a sci-fi film. But in Japan, AI isn't just the future, it's part of everyday life. From vending machines that predict your favorite drink to robots greeting you at airports, AI is everywhere. But that leads us to a real question, one that goes deeper than headlines and buzzwords. How smart is AI in Japan, really? Is it groundbreaking? Is it overrated? Or is it quietly reshaping society behind the scenes? Let's dig in and take an honest look at how Japan is using AI and whether the hype matches the reality. At first glance, Japan might not seem like the leader in AI compared to countries like the US or China. While Silicon Valley focuses on big data and machine learning breakthroughs, and China aggressively pushes AI in surveillance and automation, Japan has taken a different path, one that's quieter, more subtle and deeply integrated into everyday life. Take, for example, Japan's train system. AI is used not just for routing and scheduling, but for monitoring passenger flow, adjusting train speeds to save energy, and even predicting maintenance before anything breaks. It's not flashy, but it's highly practical. Then there's customer service. In airports like Haneda and Narita, AI-powered robots help guide tourists, answer basic questions in multiple languages, and even provide real-time updates on gate changes. In some stores, AI is used to analyze customer behavior through security cameras, not to spy, but to improve shelf layouts or reduce wait times at checkout. And let's not forget the convenience stores. Some Japanese 7-Elevens now use AI to track food freshness, predict demand for products, and automatically manage inventory. This helps reduce food waste and keeps shelves stocked with eerie precision. It's not loud, it's not glamorous, but it works. This is what makes AI in Japan so interesting. It's less about replacing humans and more about supporting them. Japan's demographic challenges, especially its aging population, have forced the country to look at AI differently. Not as a threat, but as a necessity. In elder care facilities, AI is used to detect falls, monitor sleep patterns, and even analyze voice tone to pick up early signs of mental decline. One example is the use of AI-enabled beds and wearables that alert caregivers the moment something seems wrong, even if the patient hasn't said a word. That's not just smart, it's life-saving. But if you ask, is AI in Japan cutting edge, the answer gets a little more complicated. Japan is great at integrating AI into hardware, robots, devices, infrastructure, but not always at pushing the limits of AI research itself. Many of the foundational breakthroughs in deep learning, natural language processing, and neural networks have come from outside Japan. In fact, some of the most advanced Japanese AI systems rely on software libraries developed in the US or Europe. It's not that Japan lacks talent. It has incredible engineers and researchers, but there's been a cultural tendency toward perfection, caution, and reliability, rather than risk-taking innovation. That sometimes slows adoption of bleeding-edge AI tools, especially in public-facing services. Language also presents a unique challenge. Japanese is a complex language for AI models, especially in speech recognition and natural language processing. English-based models like ChatGPT or Google Assistant often outperform Japanese native systems. So while Japan has its own AI assistants and voice bots, many are still catching up in terms of conversational ability. That said, Japan is making progress. Universities like the University of Tokyo and companies like NEC, Fujitsu, and SoftBank are investing heavily in AI. Toyota, for example, has launched an entire research institute focused on AI for autonomous vehicles and robotics. And Sony continues to lead in AI applied to imaging, sensors, and entertainment. There's also a fascinating cultural element to how Japan interacts with AI. While Western conversations around AI often center on fear, job loss, privacy, ethical boundaries, Japanese society tends to be more accepting of AI integration. Robots and AI are seen as useful tools, even friends in some cases. Think about Pepper, the humanoid robot from SoftBank. It was never truly smart in the AI sense, but it was charming, approachable, and emotionally resonant, qualities that matter in Japan's service-driven culture. So how smart is AI in Japan, really? It depends on what kind of smart you're looking for. If you define smart as groundbreaking algorithms, theoretical breakthroughs, and raw computing power, Japan might not be leading the race. But if you define smart as seamless integration, real-world application, and solving deeply human problems, Japan is doing something arguably more impressive. AI in Japan isn't loud, it doesn't shout, it doesn't brag, but it shows up on time. It works quietly in the background. It supports society instead of disrupting it. That's a kind of intelligence that often goes unnoticed, but it's deeply valuable. And maybe, just maybe, that's the version of AI we need more of. This is Project Nippon X, where we decode the technology shaping tomorrow in Japan's quiet, AI revolution might just be one of the smartest moves yet.